Hello, Path of Exile fans. Let's start with a couple of updates. I found out that the reset was because the mana nodes beyond Mind Over Matter were nerfed very heavily. But I decided to leave it alone. I don't desperately need these 3 skill points anywhere else. And redoing the entire tree would be an awful lot of work. I've also decided what direction to take for the rest of the game. I'm gonna go over towards Grave Intentions, and then I'm just gonna fill out life nodes and minion life nodes for the rest of the game, I think. That ought to work. The other thing is that I found out that Summon Skeletons was buffed very strongly in the big patch. So, well, that's good news for me. Well then, let's see how far this Chamber of Sins goes.
Hello. We have woven a tale together in days past.
Alright, I already did that. So, apparently there is a spider god that I need to deal with. So, they also buffed Desecrate, which is great news for my flesh offering. Summons more corpses, means a better offering. Although, I hardly even need it, it seems. Well, not complaining. Well, in a dungeon like this, which is very crowded with lots of doorways... Oh! Well. One thing at a time, I suppose. The only thing is, I'm not entirely sure how to help Silk.
Greetings, Exile.
Well, looks like we got ourselves our first map. There's 6 portals, and the reason for this in softcore mode is that it's 6 chances to clear the map. Every time you die, you consume a portal. Well, more specifically, you consume a portal every time you go in. Which means that if you're doing well, you can send 6 inventories worth of items through, or pull them out, whichever. And if you don't do well, they are extra tries. I also recently found out from a streamer friend of mine that with certain unique weapons you can actually make an animated guardian hideously powerful when it comes to buffing your allies. However, considering that I'm basically doing self-found here, mostly because of laziness, I don't foresee that particular build being very helpful to me. I'm sad to say. So this looks rather similar to the sorts of monsters I was facing in Act 3 and maybe Act 4. Unfortunately, I don't really have a clue of where to go from here. Oh well. I'm greatly anticipating the passive skill that lets me also get the benefit of offerings. That boosted movement speed would be very useful. I don't see... This is the problem. I'm not familiar with this particular part of the game. Well, I have never done a map before in general, so... Hey, new experiences though, right? Arranged an enemy? That sounds like Malagaro, alright.
I need more mana.
Oh yeah, I was taking a couple of hits from things. That's the problem with this build. Alright, I think that's more the spirit of things. Nothing quite like chain clearing the map with a necromancy build, right? Oh, I'm bleeding, that's why. Well, live and learn. I considered moving towards Eldritch Battery. That would help with my 2 aura mana problem. But that would be a long line of empty nodes, which is not really my thing. Malagaro's Workshop, that looks pretty darn central. Time for me to switch buffs. I also had to move clarity a little bit. In my previous setup, it was linked to generosity, which meant that I didn't get any benefit from it. Embarrassing. Were those Malagaro corpses back there? Oh wow, you certainly have some heft to you. Respect. That's fine, I kind of prefer it when...
A foe, feared for an eon, falls and scoured from the pages of history.
Oh yeah, that's because the sub-bosses also count as unique enemies. Wait. Oh, yeah, of course. You were doing this specifically because you wanted that particular soul.
Our brutal construction nears completion, and now only the wretched Dodri Darktongue remains. Unlike her compeers, who, in undeath, have yearned for the familiar. Dodri appears drawn to the old ruins of Calamity. The cataclysm took some, and left much that a parasite like Dodri might enjoy. I shall meet you in San, where I hope you shall make swift and bloody work of that foul hag.
That sounds roughly like what's going to happen. I could have used that amethyst flask earlier, but that's okay. I was able to avoid most of that chaos damage. Instant recovery on low life. That sounds like a thing that I want. Yes, that sounds very nice indeed. I don't see any special links here, so yeah, that looks like about it. I love how easily I can switch between strategies with what I'm wearing right now. Don't get me started on what you have to do to buff swap in Path of Exile. I tell you, it is a thing that is no fun. Although I'm sure it has a very long and storied tradition in online games, I'm no fan of it. Wow, this took a lot of walking, didn't it? Wonder what happens if you run out of portals in the attempt for this story map.
The Black Venom. Oh, great dreamer who has done great deeds. I shall see to it that my queen rewards you with honor and mercy when she rises up to claim what is hers. Yes, this elixir, so aged and potent, shall be life-giving draught that she sips upon first waking. It is my gift to her, my wedding gift.
Oh, well. Have fun. I'm sure nothing bad will happen because of this. So, you can now access the Chamber of Sins level 2, huh? I don't actually know what's down here. Oh, apparently there's a Lord's trial, at least. Alright, I feel like I'm using this build a little bit better now. Oh, that's right, I didn't mention exactly how skeletons were buffed. Well, most skills have specific interactions with added damage, such as from auras or support gems. Some get less damage, and some get more. In Skeleton's case, it used to be they got 30% less added damage, but now they get 50% more, which is a pretty large swing.
The path to justice is slender and perfidious, fraught with missteps of ambition and despair, egotism and doubt. Should you choose this road, beware those who would waylay your hopes and disembowel your dreams.
I thought I already went through that trial. Well, whatever. Time for me to disjoin the Animate Guardian gem because, well, even though my minions can take a ridiculous amount of damage, there's still really no reason not to. This looks actually about the same. Oh, I see the puzzle is a little bit different here. Are there any other... Oh, I see. There's two cranks here. One is for disjoining those two saws over there, and the other is for the upward ones. Of course, teleports are also my friend. But I need to learn good timing regardless, because there will be a time where the teleport will not help me. When carting all these minions around, it's tough to tell whether it's just because of them or because that I messed up somehow. Well, in that case it was easy to tell. Oh, I see. That's the way back. Oh, well, that seems very unfriendly, but that's to be expected. I'm a great deal less scared of the monsters than I am of the traps. For reasons that I'm sure you can deduce.
There is a fine line between consideration and hesitation. The former is wisdom, the latter is fear.
Given my track record, I'm more likely to hit the fear side of things. Oh well. So, the den. I remember there being something along those lines my first time through, but it was essentially a hole in the ground. Maybe they're connected in unexpected... Wow, those are really good links. I can definitely use another 4-link piece. As for what exactly I'm going to do with it, well... that'll have to wait. Okay then. Rare ring? Sure. Always good. Also, let's bring back that summoned guardian. Wherever it is. Also, unless I'm mistaken, none of my zombies were destroyed during all those traps despite standing in the chainsaws for a rather unnerving amount of time. Oh, right. I remember this part. This map is less changed than some of the others in the repeat acts. I think that the sacrifice only works on minions that are already in the field. That is, stuff that I summon afterwards is not affected. Oh, fine, I might as well. Well, depending on what the den looks like, we might actually... Yep, my guess was correct. Well, we seem to have made a fair bit of progress this time, so... let's pick up that reward and then call it a video. I don't want to push this too terribly hard.
What? He's intending to make matrimony with Arakali? My word, that's quite a story even for Silk. Yes, I know that name, and the place to which it is purportedly attached. A temple to the north. Now, unfortunately, Arakali's temple lies beyond that which now belongs to Rarakesh. To reach the many-legged goddess, you must first draw to some conclusion with the many-faced god.
Oh.
Your wits about you.
Okay, I thought that Groost would be the end of Act Boss, but it looks like Silk's spider god might take that spot instead.
What you tell me of Silk, this I understand, though I do not want to. I have spent... Go,
I think that phrase fits Path of Exile very well.
One less twisted intellect perverting our world. There is still much to be done, but at least we can rest easier in the knowledge that Meligaro and his foul creations will trouble Rayclass no longer. Here.
4-link boots. That's considerably better than my 3-link boots, although I'll need a green gem slot somewhere. I'll figure it out.
Journey well.
And first I need to see what mods are on the shoes. They might be worthless. Well, I wouldn't say worthless exactly, but pretty close. The problem is these have movement speed, whereas the new ones don't. And I don't have any particular use for 4 blue links right now. There's plenty of other builds that could make better use of it, but even so, the lack of movement speed is kind of bad. Well, that's one particular leg of the journey out of the way. I hope you'll come back to see the next one. Later.